All right, peace family, this is Garth. Welcome to the temple. This is the temple breakdown. We about to grasp onto some knowledge. We're going to break it down and then we're going to reconstruct it. We got Jamal, we got Mason, we got Aminette, we got Nella. We about to build in the temple. Break this knowledge down. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Well, first thing first, I'm gonna just say the first thing about the temple, we really got to actually think about what you mean about the temple, and that's the whole aspect from the mental. But first of all, we got to be the soul first, from the soul, and then from your soul to the spirit, from the spirit to the mind, and then the body. Instead of putting the body first, we have to put our soul first. That's the rebuilding. Cause see, we are doing things backwards. So you actually gotta be genuine first and end up building these temples of real genuine love. And that's what I think about a rebuilding the temple is actually rebuilding the people from self-hate to give them love that we actually need. And everybody need that. So we missing out the love from each other that actually gonna unify us to actually do something greater than we actually think we can do. We can do way better than what we're doing.
What you think is stopping the love?
What actually stopping the love is the things that people actually love, and that the other things other than unifying together, actually building something that's actually genuine.
I think it might be also like, if I can add to that, some of the experiences that people may have had in the past.
Right.
And now that when, a situation as unity or something, like maybe trust issues, just, experiences in the past and trust issues.
Oh yeah, a lot of it be trust issues. A lot of it be trust issues because most likely, most likely the person don't even trust themselves anymore because of stuff they allowed themselves to do or allow
Right.
somebody to do it to them. So they don't trust themselves anymore. So that's why we actually got to build the trust in each other, and that's to build the trust in that person for that person to trust themselves first and love themselves and be actually genuine with it. Because if you ain't genuine with it, it ain't gonna prosper into actually being a loving being. It ain't gonna do nothing great like you think it is. It's still wounded. You can't heal nothing with a broken wing. You got to build them wings up. You gotta patch them up. You gotta patch them up, and the only way to actually do that is actually letting a person get deep inside themselves and accept themselves. And
Right.
actually, that is actually sharing your love like you doing, or sharing everybody sharing the love that they're doing, for they can see that there's still some love out there, and they're actually loving themselves the way they are, and ain't gonna hide their blemishes and tell the truth.
Can I say something? Like self love is like, pretty popular subject. A lot of people, I see a lot of people out there embracing themselves, or I don't really know exactly how they're going about exercising self love. But, I feel as though there's a lot of people out there embracing love for themselves. Um, what you think about that? Like, do you think people are doing it the right way? Like, are these people actually like, knowing what they're doing when it comes to like, embracing self love, the right type of love to be able to understand fully how to love another?
Yeah, they really do because they put their conditions in front of their love. So that's why they end up having a conditional love instead of unconditional love. So, because the simple fact, because the things that people said in front of them that they have to get. So them things, the whole thing is the things that's standing in the way of actually for people to actually come together. So that's the whole thing right there. That's the whole problem. The whole problem is self. Because self is what actually is not getting itself together. So,
Right.
because if you got yourself together and another person had they self together, wouldn't they come together instead of coming together with confusion?
That's true. That's true. Let me see if I can break like some things down and make it kind of like clairvoyant for some of the viewers that's going to watch this video. Um,
Like, go ahead.
self love, self love. you know, it's a process. It's not, you know, well, it's a cycle, or this is not something that's going to happen overnight, or this cycle or this process involves embracing, or developing, so to say, a relationship with yourself, like studying yourself, everything, simple things,
Right.
like
Yeah.
how much you use the bathroom for the day, or just little detail, how many times you get hungry for the day, little things, like what you like, what is good, what things that you like that are healthy, things that you like that are not healthy, things that are life-giving, things that are life-threatening. Learning
Right.
these things, taking the time out to learn these things. um uh uh Visit goals and things like that, like work on, like the kind of strength that you have within, like, okay, I set this goal up and I accomplished it, that feeling right there, kind of like pursuing that feeling and having that feeling kind of shaping your life and shaping you into the new version of you, actually evolving into a new version of something that you was before, and
Right.
knowing exactly what you did and what you used to get to that point. This is
Mhm.
Right.
self love. This is my interpretation of self love, because you're learning how to be attentive to thyself
Oh yeah.
or another self.
Right.
Yeah.
In doing so, you would then begin to evolve. Like, you'll start to change. You start to shine. Like, because you're really like paying attention to yourself and providing for yourself. You will learn how to provide.
Oh
You
yeah.
know. By studying within and catering to within and providing for your inner needs.
Oh yeah.
That's my
Well,
take.
yeah. Because see, when you actually start looking at yourself like that, scrutinizing yourself like that, you actually seeing the things you have done wrong to yourself. Especially after you start coming up in age. Like you did too much drinking, so you're gonna have little issues and problems. You did too much smoking. You know you're gonna have some problems with cancer or whatnot, because that's the cause and effect. So you end up knowing these things, and then you'll know the difference. Like, dang, I shouldn't have did that, so I ain't gonna tell nobody else to do. That's what self love is. Really, that's how I look at it. Changing the things in yourself that you're doing wrong with yourself, that is not healthy, just like you said. So
It take
So
time though.
it start from
so
little.
you have some people who, like, I hear you loud and clear. You also have some people who may be alcoholics, and you kind of like, who are conscious alcoholics. What's your take on conscious alcoholics and conscious people who go to McDonald's?
Well,
Conscious people who,
How could you be a conscious alcoholic?
what was that? Say it again.
There's no
conscious.
way to be a conscious alcoholic. That's a contradiction and a oxymoron.
Okay, and what about a conscious person who goes to McDonald's and brings the kids to McDonald's?
Right.
Right.
See, it's way more. It's way more. You could say a conscious alcohol. You putting it a description on the person first. See, it ain't the thing that a person is doing ain't who they are. So you putting
Right.
something before them already by even giving them a label as a even a conscious alcoholic. I could say it's some conscious freaks out. You see
Yep.
what I'm saying? I could say
Right.
it's some conscious motherfuckers ain't right within they self out there. It's some conscious people that ain't talking the truth. It's
Right.
a conscious people that we can go. The list can go on and on if we start picking at people. You know what I'm saying? And picking, and we already getting picked on by something that don't want you to live here anyway, not under their control anyway. You know. So I mean, we doing so much self hate by being that critical with each other anyway, knowing we ain't perfect, but we do gotta survive.
So the reason why I asked you that,
Mhm.
um, yeah, the reason why I asked is because you got things like this going on. I mean, regardless of how what type of label you put on it, this action is being acted out there. Um, the McDonald's aspect, like, it's cheaper to, you got a dollar, you got $2, you got $3. It's real convenient. It's cheap to go to, like, the McDonald's, opposed to go, like, do something on a contract. it's kind of like habit. Like you grew up doing this. This is what you used to do. It's real convenient. It's quick. It's fast. It's what you need at the time.
But consciousness is not convenient and it's not fast. If you
Kind of hear me out. There's some I'm getting at something with this. So also with the alcohol, like you drink alcohol. How can I say it? Like these things, you have the consciousness, then you have the body. The body wants the alcohol. The body is addicted. The body, the consciousness is not addicted. You understand? There's no energy matter. There's no energy matter for it to get addicted. It's the body that's addicted. So, these things is kind of set out there to kind of like decrease the lifespan of your life. It is a part of is a form of warfare.
Oh yeah. That's
And we all should identify, like we should all should be able to identify.
oh yeah. I mean, telling the truth and something that we do is two different things. You know, we
Right.
don't we don't do the right things all the time. So, but telling the facts of the truth, that's just what that is. And see, some people can't accept the message, like, because they want to judge you first, so they ain't gonna accept the message. And that mean they don't even respect the soul first anyway.
I think, I mean, for me, going back on, who was that meant that was bringing up the subject of conscious, what was it? Conscious people who eat McDonald's. She said something about how it's not convenient and it's not fast, which is true. Very true. But that's my speaker. Don't ignore it. Um, the thing is, it's just like it's just like when a majority of us as black people were Christian. You had Christian alcoholics, you had Christian
Right.
freaks, you had Christian murderers. The only reason I bring up Christianity was because that was the main denomination for us. And for a big majority of us, it still is. And that's like the best example I could give. Now, here's my thing. This is my take on it. It doesn't really have to apply to everybody. But if whatever you do in your personal life, whatever you do in your personal life, that's your personal life. That's your personal decision. I can't really use that to determine whether or not you're a good person to build with if it's not morally going to affect the future of us as black people. Now, you eat McDonald's, that's your business. You drinking, that's your business. That's gonna mess with your health, but again, it's your business. However, if it's something like, let me see, something where like addiction, like alcohol, for instance, it's an addiction, that's your business. Now, if it happens to be a situation that involves the addiction being so strong where you do some very, very crazy things in order to get the funds and in order to get your fix, then I mean what I do is I'm a still be cool with you and everything, but there's just certain things I'm not going to do around you because I'm not going to get affected because your fix is so bad you're going to mess me up to get your fix. That's an example.
You said a real cool word. You said affected.
Right.
Effect, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's basically what it is. As people who are conscious or non-conscious, whatever you do, because I have Christian friends. I do. I have Baptist friends. I got Catholic friends. Their religious beliefs and their ideology don't affect me. And that's cool. There are certain things that are in your life, especially since we're talking about black people, we're talking about our people, that if it doesn't affect me,
It doesn't
I care,
matter.
but I don't care. I guess what I'm trying to say is if it doesn't affect me morally and it doesn't affect us as a people morally, then it really isn't what I'm worried about. If
Right.
you decide that you want to go to McDonald's, you do that. If you're gonna sit there and drink, do it in moderation. That's your life. You want to do it, you do it. But when it comes to trusting, like you said, unifying self-love and being able to love yourself unconditionally and being able to apply that to other people in a way that you don't get hurt because of it, but at the same time you can build with as many people as possible, we could work with that. But when it comes to what you do in your private life behind closed doors, what you eat, how you eat, we got people that still eat meat. I still eat meat. I don't eat a lot of it, but I still eat meat. does that mean that you're gonna sit there and avoid me because I eat meat and you don't? And if that's the case, that's the number. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's like the borderline question that, depending on how you answer, black people are gonna spread themselves out and leave each other alone. Because it's like, if what I'm doing is not affecting you, I don't see why you have to leave me, the whole person, alone. If it's morally wrong and you feel like it's morally wrong, you tell me, okay, I won't do it around you out of respect for you because you don't like it. Cool. But if I'm not doing it around you, whatever it is, because again, realistically, you have to think about the fact that nobody's going to stop doing something simply because you don't like it. Some people won't give you the respect to not do it in front of you or do it around you.
Can I
Others,
say something? Can I add something now? Because
yeah,
this is getting good now. This is the pro-versation, right? This is what it's about.
yeah,
So where I was kind of getting at now, okay?
uh-huh,
So a person on a hamburger McDonald's diet, okay?
right.
This is a person who's consuming this, man. Forgive me, viewers, please forgive me, but this check me out, okay?
Yeah,
A person
yeah, go ahead.
consuming it. This is their diet. Like, they're not necessarily watching their diet. There's no alkaline input into their
Oh, you mean
uh
like complete, total?
this junk. This is how this person is eating.
Uh,
I what I'm saying here is, people like that with diets like that think a certain type of way. Like, you see, they move a certain type of way. I find certain things in common with people as such. It's a sickness. Not nothing bad, but yes, this person has a lot of mucus in the brain. They might operate a little slower than how a person that's more trim, and they may be a little bit overweight. They may be a little slow with motor skills. Okay, they may be bipolar. Okay, so so on
yeah.
and so forth. Just little small things. So this is what I'm trying to identify, and so I leave that alone. What do
Okay, I
you
see
think
what
about
you're
that?
saying.
That angle, because that's the angle I'm
Certain
looking.
certain things will affect how a person thinks when it comes to something like this. It'll affect how they see it. Basically, that's what you're talking about, and then it affects what moves they make if they decide to make any moves. That's what you mean?
Yeah,
Oh, that
this
was yeah.
person might be lazy. Might be a lazy person. This person may like that intake of food what they're putting into their body is definitely going to take a toll on their personality, physical looks. It's going to make them. They're going to transform into a burger.
Right.
Okay. Okay, I
But
see what you're saying.
I mean,
That's
it's definitely important to talk about the health factor. If you ain't gonna build with a person that actually trying and seeing that, then you can tell the difference between a person who actually trying and a person who actually not. You can tell the
Yeah,
difference. You
got a
can tell,
point. So a person trying, yeah,
yeah, you can tell the
Authentic.
difference between the two. Because if you don't, then I mean, you ain't seeing the difference of actually what happened to you. You get the changes within yourself. You see what I'm saying? So you got to actually really identify with yourself and choose. So that,
but like where I'm getting at is like someone is in control of your food. Like someone is in control of your food, and it's not necessarily feeding you anything that's going to be good for you. And a lot of us, there's nothing we can do about it because that's all we can afford.
Right.
So this is a problem. It's a threat. It is a form of warfare. Like you control if they, our food is controlled. They give us GMO. You know, what's the solution?
it's actually having our own. That's what I. Solution is actually having our own and actually
Well,
wanting
yeah.
to take care of people that don't make it that expensive to take care of yourself that way.
and
Have,
also the. Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
You think black people want to have their own like in that type of way their own food like
Man,
I
some
can't
people
speak for all,
just
but
want.
I can say a few of us do. You got the ones that settle. You got the ones that settling for what they can for what they get, and you got the ones that want to do differently. So I would say not all, but some.
Uh, you know what? When it comes to food, I don't even know how to answer that. If black people actually want their own, regardless of what it is, but specifically food, I think a majority of them do would actually want to have their own food, especially affordable food that's healthy. But
Right.
the one thing I will say, I mean, I'm gonna say willpower till like my face turns blue, pink, green, whatever it turns. I don't know, but it's willpower. But at the same time, again, it's affordability, and at the same time, the food that we eat, it doesn't even have to be McDonald's at this point. You can have an apple that's 10 times worse than McDonald's because it ain't even real, right?
Right.
At least with McDonald's, you know you're gonna get shit, but it tastes good, but you still
Right.
want it. Versus an apple, you expect it to be good for you because it's an apple. But they have GMO apples now, GMO vegetables, GMO beans, nuts, fruits, and seeds. You can't tell organic from not. And I'm not even just talking about seedless produce. I'm talking about
Right.
produce with seeds in it that are still GMO, that are still affected. So no matter how organic you think your food is, there's always some type of additive or something in there that's not supposed to be in there, that wasn't in there when it was a seed. So you at this point, if you live here in this country, which I'm sorry, a lot of people ain't gonna move to this country, from this country to another country, just for food. It's really not gonna happen as much as you'd like it to. It won't. Living in this country, or a lot of what they call developed countries,
Right.
you have a very small chance of your food not being messed with. Versus you living in a country like my country, for instance, Jamaica. You get more farmland, you have more farmers that everybody owns a little patch for themselves, whether it's the backyard or a couple of acres. Like my dad, whose father owned he owned goats and cows and everything, and he also had like fruits and vegetables and nuts and potatoes and tomatoes and all of that stuff. So he was able to get his meat and his produce organic from the ground. Not everybody can have that, and I don't know if you've seen. A lot of black people are trying to do that, where they take the food that they have from the supermarket, they take the seeds from it, and they bury it under the ground and try to plant for themselves. And you got the cops coming with warrants arresting them for planting shit in their own backyard.
Yeah.
So even if you have black people that are trying to find a way to grow stuff in their backyard to improve themselves, you got that chance where you don't know if. But there's always that thing called if, and it fucks with every
Right.
last one of us. And if you try to plant something, you always got that risk of the cops. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people like of a what if, but at the same time, I would still advise people to just try to plant stuff in their own garden. Even if you can't come up with a whole supermarket for the community, try to plant something in the garden for yourself. If that's all you can do, if that's all you can afford, if you can, try it. If you can, try it in your house as well. Because dad does it. He has like little plants, and he has like a couple herbal plants that he plants inside the house. He lives in a some little villages, what you call them, little brick villages. So they're all attached to each other. So there's no backyard. But food, that's up to the person. Junk food tastes so good. I mean, then some people aren't gonna completely stop. Some people will.
Right.
So it is up to the person. It's up to the people if they want to. According to 2017 statistics, being vegan, not even vegetarian, being vegan is now becoming a trend, just like how being black is becoming a trend, which is hilarious. But it's a trend. It's a good trend. I'm not gonna take it wrong. It's a very good trend. It's something that should be followed by the masses. But how long is it gonna last? Just like how long is
Right.
being black being a trend gonna last? Because even as we're being a trend, we still getting shot. We still getting thrown in jail. So I mean, trend or not, we're still black.
Right.
Trend or not, being dark skin is a trend. Having natural hair is a trend. Being black in general, light skin or not, is a trend. Being a black woman is a trend. Being a black man looking good on magazines and shit is a trend. That's shikis, our culture, everything is a trend. It's a bigger trend now. And even while we're being a trend, we still getting blown to bits. Because at the end
Right.
of the day, we're black. We want to be a trend, but we're black people. So there's certain things that how long is it going to be a trend? How long is being healthy, eating healthy going to be a trend? I'm just saying.
You right now.
I'm just
I
saying.
can't.
But I would love to. I used to grow plants in my backyard all the time when I was a kid. My dad would help me do it, and then I would do it. All types of peppers, herbs, spices, fruits, vegetables, flowers, and it tastes completely different from when the supermarket. Even if you got the seeds from the supermarket and you plant them, you grow them up the ground, they taste different from the supermarket. I'm telling you now, nothing tastes like straight from the ground from your backyard.
Losing the world. Losing the world.
And I grew it in downtown Patterson, New Jersey, which is a very hard place to grow anything. I grew it in the ghetto, and it tastes gorgeous. And that the soil in that area is not good, and I managed to work. Not saying you can't, but certain areas you can't. And it's almost like a danger. Being healthy sometimes is a danger, not even to your wallet, but sometimes to your life. Some people get shot for growing stuff in their own.
It's all about balance.
It's about
Right.
balance. It's about balance. Some people aren't gonna give up the unhealthy stuff, and you have to acknowledge that whether or not you like that decision, you have to respect the fact that the person's not gonna stop. And if they don't stop, they don't stop. But that's on them. Certain things as Black people, conscious or not, it's on the individual whether or not they stop doing something or start doing something. Just like if a Christian want to continue being a Christian, honestly, you can't make them stop. I didn't. I stopped by choice because I just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't. It really was never working for me personally. But some other people, like your friends and your family, they might not stop. They might not give it up. But should
Mm-hmm.
I stop loving them simply because of that? No. Will I really be that close to them? I mean, again, that's up to me. But you are still, for me, you're not any less Black because you do something that either you've been raised to do and it isn't right, or something that I don't like and I don't prefer. So when it comes to
Right.
unifying, you can't just unify with conscious people. I can't even believe it's coming out of my mouth. Anybody now? Highly surprised it's coming out of my mouth. But you can't just unify with conscious people because I'm telling you now, all of us got it wrong one way or another, a little bit here and there. I'm pretty sure y'all seen some of the shit people post on Facebook based on who say they're conscious. So you know I'm right. So Christian or not, if you can work with me, I'm gonna work with you.
Right.
Cause we're Black first before anything else. I have a lot of Christian friends and they're deep in their faith. And they know I'm not in that, and I left that alone. But they still work with me. I still chill with them every weekend, and we chill. We having fun, cracking jokes, talking shit, whatever. And when it comes time to help people, we help people. We do it together, and we help people in our community. We do, especially during the holidays. We go every year. We feed them on whatever. Christian or not, if you can work with me without worrying so much about how I see the world through a religion or denomination, I don't care. If I
That's
can
what
work
that's
with
what
you,
it's
I'll
about.
work with you.
I mean, that's what it's about right there. That's real, like genuine unity right there. It don't matter what your
Right.
ideology is. It don't matter what your diet is about. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's come together and do and make this move.
That's it. Like as long as you're alive and you want to do this move, we do this move. Your health should be something that you should consider, but everybody got their own views on that. But
But
Christian, like I said, I got Christian, Catholic, Baptist,
so
Methodist, whatever the hell you want to call it.
if I might add, like, but on a cultural aspect, like, a
Mm,
universal cultural aspect,
mm.
uh, we should grasp, like, we should pay attention to our diets. We should pay, and it
Yes,
is a
we
very
should.
important subject because, like, it does increase longevity. You teach it to your children. You
Right.
teaching it to a nation, like, a great, strong, African tomorrow, so to say, right? Um, Also, I feel as though it's one of the fundamentals and one of the keys to for us to kind of lift ourselves out of like this situation that we're in.
Hmm.
That's all.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that's important, and I feel like we should take advantage of the trend of being healthy because
Right.
it's not just a diet that's being a trend, it's also being in shape, like exercising. There's now different ways because one thing for us as black people that was a challenge was not just eating, because statistically when it comes to um diabetes and heart disease, they were never genetic at one point. Now they're becoming genetic because it's so many of us generationally eating the same way and ending up with diabetes at a certain age, at the same age constantly, right?
Right.
There's ways to reverse it. Diabetes and heart disease are like the number one when health wise, which is regarding health for us as black people. And now it's actually lowered a little bit. I don't remember the statistics too much because I did a statistical project on that a while ago, but I think it was like by 25%. Don't quote me on that because again, I was doing a statistical project. My statistics could be completely off, but it is going down. And based on what so like little things from the news talking about more people from the urban community are eating healthier, losing weight, working out more, finding ways to be less stressed, especially with work.
If you eat artificial, you're gonna have an artificial body. You're gonna have
Right.
an artificial mind.
That's true. I feel like we should take advantage of that and just keep it moving and make it sure that it's not just a trend, but something permanent for people to eat right and exercise. We have exercises for people that might not be able to move so much, or people that are even people that are lazy. We got exercises for them now that still give them that workout that either they're lazy or they don't have time. So it's like it's all over. Social media and technology finds ways to make it easier for people to exercise and find time to exercise so they don't have to worry about, oh, do I have to sit there and pick a whole day out of my work day and lose my check to exercise when I can't do that, I don't have time. There's ways to eat healthier
Right.
now. So it's like making it fun. It's like making it colorful and fun. One thing about us as black people, we know how to make things colorful. And I'm not talking about us cursing people out. I'm not talking about that kind of colorful. I'm talking about we're full of color, we're full of life, right?
Right.
We come out dressed in all types of colors and they say, oh, y'all dark skinned people, black people in general, y'all have no business wearing all these colors. You're black. These colors don't look right. You think any of us gave two fucks? We come out in workout wear, all different colors of the rainbow, having fun, eating healthy, and everybody looking at us like they upset, but they want to do it too, and they follow us, especially, my generation. Because I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest one here, right? So we find ways to make things fun. That's the idea. Find ways to make things fun and have everybody else follow suit, regardless of if it's healthy, especially if it's healthy. They might not realize that they're being healthy, but they don't really care because it's fun. Making smoothies. That's like the most fun thing ever. That's the one way
Oh,
people actually have become healthy. A lot of people don't want to eat the fruits and the vegetables whole. You stick it in a smoothie, you're good to go.
yep.
People drink that shit like water.
Right.
So it's like making it healthy, making it fun, and finding ways to make it economically available for people who are on a low budget and can't afford produce, especially
Right.
in areas where produce is bad. Tell them to find a local market versus going to Walmart for the produce or Kmart or ShopRite or wherever for the produce. Find a little local market by you. Where I live is predominantly Hispanic. So you have Afro Hispanics, and then you have like Native Hispanics, and then you have Spanish. You have Spaniards Hispanics. You have Hispanics from all walks of life. There are little markets everywhere, and most of the restaurants get their food from the local markets in the neighborhood in the area. So
Right.
I go there. The food is cheap. If you don't have access to it, then whatever supermarket you got, try and see if you can little plant little stuff in a little garden in your house. If you can't put it in your backyard, plant it in your house and put it by the window so that they still get sunlight. So it's like find little ways here and there to do stuff. We as black people find ways to do stuff for free if we can't do it for cheap.
Right.
So I feel like, especially now, like ain't nobody paying for cable, we'll sit there and snatch some power from the person next door, right? Or we'll go use
Right.
that fire stick and just go from there. So it's like find ways, use your inventive creativity to find ways to be healthy. You can find ways to be cheap. Find ways to be cheap when it comes to food, if you can. If you can't, I don't really know what to tell you, because to a certain degree, it's an excuse, especially if you have kids. If you have kids, you know you're not going to want them eating all of that stuff. So if you can find a way to do it for your children, find a way to do it for you.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm borderline trying to be politically correct, because I know reality sets in. A lot of people always find a way to say, "Oh, we can't." So let me cut that shit out and just say, "Find a way, find a freaking way." Because I'm trying to find ways little by little. Because at one point I was so used to eating junk food, but it's like you gotta look for stuff. Find something.
That's what it's about. It's all about raising awareness to, you know, these subjects we talking about.
And find somebody. If you can't
I
find
say,
something, find
you know,
something.
if you can change the way you eat, you can change your outlook on things. Because your outlook is based on, you know, how you go about conditioning yourself. If you condition yourself poorly, then your outlook will be poor. If you condition yourself well, then your outlook will be well. It's all according, like you were saying earlier, it's all according to that person.
Yeah, that's true.
Because regardless of anything, if you actually want to change it, you're gonna change it because you want to.
Right.
You know, we all got habits and stuff. You know, living become a habit. Living become a habit. Where you live, how you operate, it become a habit and become normal. That just
Hey, Mason, you sound a little far away.
and my
Yeah.
battery going low. My battery going low on my phone. It's about to cut off.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, dang,
Uh,
dang.
driving,
Oh
driving.
no.
dang.
We're gonna need you to put that on charge, brother.
Facts. Whip out the charger though.
For real.
We just about to open up another subject on words and spelling.
Plug
The
in that
spell.
charger. Don't leave. Don't
No.
leave. Now
That's
for real,
what
bro.
we
Don't
about
go.
to talk about. Spells and words and wording.
Right.
What y'all know about the Justinian deception? What you know about that? You heard about that?
About what?
Mm.
Again?
The Justinian deception.
Deception.
I never heard of that, honestly.
Might be on that.
Break
Never
break
heard
it
of
down
that.
if you can.
Okay, check this out. Look what I got here. It's a long document or article, but
Right.
I give you a sneak peek.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Check this out. All right, so Justinian deception. Let's see if I can get.
Hmm.
So what this is about? This is basically a hidden foreign text known as Dog Latin. Okay, the mother of all deceptions.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, this is, legalese. Like, whenever you get like some mail, a letter in the mail that's all capital,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
this is information on that. How they use it to cap you up. Because in school, they don't teach you about the all capital like language. It's a whole different language. It looked like the ABCs, what they teach you, but it's not. See how this, what's this, Christian name? And then you got surname in all capitals.
Right.
So, this document is talking about like a birth certificate and, certain type of, accounts and blah, 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 yakety smack. This is for a whole different video, a whole different bill, but just letting y'all know that I got the info. All right. Also, I'm not sure if I showed you a video before. Also have this article here from Judge Dell. My homie Judge Dell, man, let's check him out real quick. He spilled the beans. You see this? Retired judge spills the beans. This is just a little briefing, run through it, but he definitely was spilling the beans. He was talking about criminal law. He was talking about citations and what to do when you get, some type of form of cited by one of them people and all that. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing this, but it talks about divorce and foreclosure on your house, how they get to, go around the foreclosures. We got the info. See if I can. But basically, they use that secret language to cap y'all up. I advise everyone to get a Black's Laws dictionary. That's how you decipher their secret language, legalese, legal lies.
Hmm.
That's an interesting thing to know.
But
Very
yeah, brother Mason, he was saying something about words and spelling. That was a pretty cool build. I was trying to hear some more of what he had to say about that.
right.
But he got some technical difficulties right now. Any one of you guys got a take on that? Words.
Give me one.
I know words. I know about words.
Well, words seem to be fucking everybody's mind up nowadays. So
Oh yeah.
you want my take? That's my take. I mean, it's. I feel like the word individually is not really the issue. It's more like where the word is in regards to the whole sentence, how it's said, who's saying it, when it's said, and why the hell it's coming out your mouth. It's not even the word itself. It's like you have a whole sentence, and the word isn't really the problem, but where it's positioned after whatever word's in front of it, it causes people to go crazy, get butthurt, get offended, go off a tangent. I don't know, want to sue for everything you got just because you said it. And there's nothing
Right.
wrong with what you said. It's said based on how you feel. And people assume that whatever it is that you say, especially in the Black Village,
Right.
it's always something that's said. Now, I, none of you are, see me on Facebook when I comment and I make my comments or I make my post. But I make my post and I say what I say on purpose, and I can back up what I say. Nowadays, I
Right.
don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm a very I can get real mean, and I'm gonna get mean right now. Some of y'all need to sit there and go back to grammar school because there's something called context,
Right.
context clues. I don't know if anybody ever heard of that. This is what kind of gets me upset. You say something simple. I say very simple things on social media. It's my opinion, but it's something very simple. People take it out of context, assume I'm talking about them. Half of these people I don't know, and they go off on a tangent, call me that black people get called coons for things that they are
Right.
not cooning for. There's a big misunderstanding about the word coon. My understanding of the word coon is somebody who, as a black person, or somebody who would endanger the people in their own race, or their own family members, or their
Right.
own creed, in order to benefit themselves.
Right.
That is what a coon is by definition, based on what I have learned. So if I hear that somebody's being called a coon, it better be because your life has been put in danger, or your life has been ruined or altered in some negative way because of something that somebody has done in relation to you to get themselves up or keep themselves from going down. And if anything I have said has caused you to call me a coon, you better sit there and rethink about what you said. Because there are certain
Right.
that are reality for us as black people. That doesn't make the person who says it a coon. If I sit there and say, people eat meat in the black community, I automatically get called a coon, and I shit you not, it has happened to me before.
Well, guess
Right.
what? I got a better word for coon.
Well,
Unity killer. Unity killer.
That's crazy though, man.
I'd
That's
rather
real
take
crazy.
unity killer than coon because it's not as extreme. Coon is used in extreme, dangerous, morally dangerous situations. You
You're
cannot
right.
call me a coon because I say the simple sentence, black people in the community eat meat. Now you're just being stupid. You just retarded.
Right.
Black people in the community eat meat. They eat meat. Some people don't, some people do. You think everybody's going to unify in veganism? That's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
Unify to improve ourselves as a people? Yes. Now, in that situation, if there's anything then I mean, at that point, you have Coon and you have Uncle Tom. Now, usually you have Uncle Tom.
Right.
That's usually used as a way to describe somebody who feels as though they're okay with being in a bad situation. They're okay with
Right.
kissing Master's ass or kissing a white person's ass.
Right.
They love it, or they're not that bad. And that usually involves somebody who's, regardless of what they've been through with a certain group of people that have obviously proven to be the enemy, white people for us, for example, they still say they're not that bad. Now, even if that's the case for some of the white people, I really don't feel like going through all the white people that want to cut my throat off to find the good white people. That's me. That's me.
Right.
That's not every black person, but that
I'm
makes
saying.
spoons because whatever they're doing
Right.
endanger you if it's not directly towards you. If anything they do or how they feel about white people does not affect you at all, I'm sorry, you can't call them a coon. Call
Nope.
a woman a bed wench. Let me tell you something. There's no word for a black person who fucks a white lady. But there's something for a woman who fucks a white guy. It's a bed wench. It's a whole bunch of shit. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna call that person a name, it has to affect you.
Right.
There are several. As a matter of fact, when Garth comes back, because I don't want to go off of his topic, I want to bring up a little another topic when he's done with his topic.
I'm here.
Hey,
So, what I missed?
oh no, I was just breaking down like certain words. Like when it comes to words, I
Right.
decided to branch off and speak on words that we call each other. And there are times where calling each other that is justified, but there are certain times where it's not. So what I was just explaining was there are certain probably gonna have because shit. I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna have to move because my sister wants to sleep. I'm in my room, but I'm gonna keep talking. So, um, basically, I was saying that there are certain situations where calling somebody a coon would make sense because the definition of a coon is somebody who's willing to endanger people within their race, within their creed, within their family in order to get themselves
Right.
ahead. That usually happens with the house slaves getting everybody else, all the field slaves in trouble to save their ass when they're the one who caused trouble. Or
Right.
even if nobody caused trouble, but the white they're just so used to surviving off of kissing ass all day that they're gonna put you in danger in order to do that, even when you don't even know these people. Coons put people in danger in a moral, tragic situation in order to keep themselves up or keep themselves from going down. So I said sometimes
Right.
you can't people on Facebook throw coon out there like it's air. And then
Like a trend.
like a trend. And then Uncle Tom, like it's a trend. Or Bedwench, like it's a trend. But I haven't heard one name for a black person, a black man who sits there and fucks a white lady or a white guy or whatever the fuck you like. So it's like certain words, don't throw them out like trends. Hoteps. People in the conscious community throw that shit out like a trend, but they throw it like it's an insult. Let me tell you something. Nothing about Hotep is an insult. Last time I
Nope.
checked, Hotep is the name of a school a long time ago that had like 1,000 schools in it that educated us as people on every aspect of this planet, this universe, this
Right.
galaxy, based on education, knowing everything and anything that was possible to know, understanding knowledge and applying that knowledge. Yet people say Hotep at the same time when they want to sit there and say peace or Imhotep, but you want to call somebody a Hotep as an insult because you swear it because they swear they know it all. Let me make something very clear to you. If you know that person don't know shit, just call them a know it all and leave it alone. Don't go throwing in a whole name that you don't even know much about, or throwing a word that you don't know much about, but because it's a trend, you want to do it. Now you're just being stupid. If you don't know what the word is, be okay with knowing you don't know what the word is or what the word means or how much of an effect it has. And just don't use it. Don't use Coon every 5 minutes. It's annoying. Don't use Uncle Tom every 5 minutes. It's annoying. Don't call a woman a bed wench. It's annoying.
So, brother Darnell,
The coon
which
come. The
yeah,
coon really
we talking about words. I know your phone wasn't, you was having a little technical difficulty. So talking about words, spelling, stuff like that. Not sure if you saw my Justinian deception presentation.
nah, like I did.
No, you heard Aminette's take.
Yeah,
It
I
was
heard.
kind of like, you. I remember you were speaking on the subject earlier, so that's why I had brought it up.
Yeah, man. I mean, the words don't really. The word it ain't in the words, man. That's what ones really fail to believe, fail to realize. It ain't even really in the words. It's the words that we using. And them words got energy behind it, you
Right.
know. And I can say a negative word and make it seem like it's a good thing, but the energy behind it is good. That's why
Right.
the words really don't mean nothing, but we actually want to put definition on it. We do. We want to put definition. We want to click. We want to point things out and name them because that makes us feel like we gods. I actually have control over the words, and that's in linguistics. That's in any language. That don't mean just because you saying it this way that makes it's a good thing. No, ain't no communication. Any communicating now is good. Period. It ain't. It never been. These words
Oh,
don't
damn, what's
exist.
that? Hold on, let me fix that for you. What was that?
Somebody
You
moving
know?
something.
Oh, that's
These words didn't exist back then. It was signs and symbols. That's it.
Right.
You know, signs and symbols. So these words don't mean shit. What you put down on paper don't mean shit. Not towards your soul or actually
Right.
towards anything. So none of these words that we use, definition, the defining things, don't really mean nothing. That just like I'm gonna use the Bible for instance. Remember
Right.
the H whatever the YHW standing for Yahweh couldn't be pronounced it because it didn't have vowels. It wasn't utterable. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? We wasn't talking in the way we talking. We wasn't acting the way we act. All this stuff right here is something that became normal.
Right.
See, that's what people ain't talking about. But we can define and tell a story real well.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell the story, but we ain't gonna tell the actually truth. That none of that don't even really matter because the energy that's actually matters. You know, I mean, I can if just in a different language, you could tell that that person got some love for you. You don't even got to understand the words.
Right.
You know, but see,
That's
we
just
so
like what you
hard.
were saying.
Yeah, it's what you responding to. You
Right.
responding to letters. You responding to that. But you know, that's why I like breaking down and using words and going do whatever I want to with it. As long as I understand what I'm saying, that's all it really matters.
Right.
Because it ain't for the next person to understand. It's for you to understand yourself first. So
Right.
understanding myself first, I'm trying to just explain it to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean if I say it correctly, but do you understand the passion that comes before the words?
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? Do you understand the intention of a person before these words?
right.
See, we can use all type of lines and try to figure it out, all type of stuff, but that don't make it the solution to the problem.
Right. I say this too, like you was just saying, brother Darnell. Depending on how you use these words, it's just like how we use the word nigga. Like we use that word like "What's up, my nigga? How you doing, my nigga?" You know, we use that. Some of us use that as a form of greeting, and then you got in other words where it's used as a hate term, just like you were saying about the energy of the word.
Hmm. It's behind it. Everything is actually behind you. Everything is behind you. So whatever you do, make sure that what's behind you is correct, and that's how you're gonna move forward in anything. I don't care what language you speak. If you actually trying to move forward to build something, y'all ain't gonna be talking anyway. Y'all gonna be trying to put it together to make it happen. Y'all ain't gonna be saying shit. You gonna be focused on making sure you careful of doing it. The words ain't shit. None of it. None of it. The definition, none of it. That's just giving you awareness what somebody trying to say.
Right.
That's it. So, but we make it real difficult. We make it so difficult that
I'm Annette. You got to unmute your mic. I kind of muted your mic because it was making a couple. Yeah.
uh, and that's what causing a definition, a depth of separation. These units, and that's what's separating us. The definitions, they depth hearing. You know what I'm saying? The purpose, the real purpose. So we using the definitions that somebody else gave us, or
Right.
somebody else try to explain. When we actually need to just come together and then make it happen. Make it happen. Other than that, I mean, you just gonna sit here. We gonna sit here and talk about stories.
Yeah.
What happened to them? What happened to them? Hold on. What we doing? What we doing? Is we
Right.
entertaining? Is we entertaining? Is we conversating? What are we doing? What is the
Right.
actually purpose? The real purpose. Not your words. Fuck your words. These taken away from our real ability to actually do something greater than what the fuck we doing now. They
Right.
words. In the word was God, beginning, whatever they say that, you know what I'm saying? In the beginning was the word was with God, God was the word, motherfucker, the word is taken away from you. Didn't
Right.
they language away from you? Didn't they take this away from you? Everything that was good for you, they took away from you and told you it was bad for you to stay away from yourself. Come on, man.
Right.
See, one thing, man, we ain't we thinking of concepts and definitions when we need to be thinking about soulfully uniting for the genuine purpose of survival. Not like you said the last time, not for surviving each other, but surviving this thing that's actually going against us. You know what I'm saying? That's actually a hateful thing. You
Right.
know, got that
Right.
much hate in you. You know you do because that's why you doing hateful things, hurting yourself and hurting others while you doing it. And I understand that even when I do something wrong towards myself, I recognize it. But when that comes around to I be able to be say, oh, I ain't finna do it no more. I ain't doing it no more. So I'm comfortable with it. That's that free will. When I'm comfortable with actually doing it, when I know it's way more important than that to do certain stuff that I do. You know, for one, eating meat. For two, smoke a cigarette. For three, get drunk sometime. I used to
Right.
get drunk every day. A fifth of Remy every day. I mean, y'all, or, you know what I'm saying? Or or some
Right.
Hennessy or something like that. XO, what you talking about? I drunk a lot of liquor. But one thing I haven't did for sure is actually love myself, and that's what I'm showing myself now by actually trying. Whether it looks better for somebody else of their judgment, but I know it looks better for me because I know what I have done.
Right.
My own judgment of myself. So you judge yourself according to how you judge yourself. So I know other people have done wrong as well. But even though our second chances is giving us this terrible way how people doing things anyway. You cut it off before it grow, it won't never happen.
Mm-mm.
But see what we did, we like breaking peace treaties and all type of stuff, give up on ourselves.
Right.
So We want to we want to say we lacking stuff. Yeah, yeah, we is. We lacking ourselves. Something that we gave up. When we gave up,
Right.
so
So
that's
let me ask you this. What could get us going again? Like, are you saying like, the people gave up? Like most people, some people gave up?
Right.
some people have, but they try to hold on
What,
to this
what,
thing
what could
called
you tell?
faith.
What would you say to the people who have given up?
Don't. I mean, don't keep that passion alive because you got to be genuine with it. Keep that type of passion alive. You know, we way backdated as far as how you actually wanted to see it to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just these little things that help. We might not see it, but hopefully the generation after be able to do it better than now. But it seems like it ain't changing. It
Mm-mm.
ain't changing. It seems like nothing ain't changing. Why? Because we ain't changing our direction. We ain't
Right.
changing our perspective of how we allow these concepts and stuff comes to us when that ain't what we want. We actually want peace. We actually want things to be healthy. We really don't want this, but in the meantime, what people do is fit to entertain them like we been doing,
Mm-hmm.
or building that up when we actually need to build ourselves up. And that's just the facts. And that's anybody from any sector. They're gonna build themselves up before they try to build somebody else up. That's why they keep on building on that stuff. We
Right.
lacking a building together. That's what's the lack is. But that's just what that is, man.
Okay, some people might take that route, like, they want to build in the house opposed to like, network building. Um, what's your views on that? Like what angle of unity is the best way? Like do you unite in like groups,
Pretty,
segregated groups, or do how does that go?
as far as in the unity sector, we ain't prepared for none of that. They know that as well. Because if every enemy knows they kind of partner. So if the kind of partner knows what your moves is, you don't even actually know what they actually doing because you can't see them because you so
Right.
far behind. You
Blindside.
so far, you so far behind to have that type of structure or even the ability to even go to other nations that don't even want to rock with the nation that got us in a position that we in. So which part of saying this unity you want to talk about from a global, from a home front to a nations to from tribes? Because a coon ain't nothing but come from a raccoon tribe that was
Right.
over here. You know what I'm saying? So I won't call nobody a coon because I'm making mockery of some of my family.
Right.
That's
See,
that's I would rather, as far as a coon, or let's stick to kind of like the topic here, right? Because
okay,
a coon, the word coon, not about to liberate the people.
it's
If
not.
we was to, if this a temple breakdown, if we was to break down the word coon and then rebuild it back, that's not, it ain't gonna be no liberation in that. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
At
that's what
all.
we doing. We breaking down the information and we rebuilding.
Well,
Um, so we was talking about words. I think Aminette, you said you had like another topic. You was like, you ain't want to kind of like sweep the word topic under the rug. Do you still
Nah,
remember your topic?
yeah, I didn't want to sweep it under the rug. I kind of want to incorporate it in another topic. So we're still using the topic words though, but we're using it in the topic of words as it relates to, I guess coding would be a part of it because of the fact that that's the number one word that people use to describe somebody who does something that to them isn't going towards liberation or at least represents liberation.
Right.
So
one
I'm
thing
gonna use
is
the
very
perfect example. Huh?
one thing that's very liberating if you throw the words away and stop using the words to actually unify us with these words that don't define us anyway. So, that don't define us. We way more greater than the word. So that ain't gonna define us. What define us is our soul. That's where we come from. So using the term soul, I'm using the term soul because that's the term that's loosely used in the terminology that we communicating in. So I understand the able to communicate with somebody, you gotta know what they talking about and you gotta know what you talking about. But at the same token, we so far back on what's actually common in our senses, our ability in our senses, which our intuitions is that we don't use that. We using this type of communication. We way more greater
Right.
than that. We
Mm.
way more greater than that. So they're like that's just like using steady using these letters that they give us. Use the symbols that was our ancient people and actually communicate that way, and actually build off that. Because that's why I like my brother Frank Burrell. He got this language, and I love it because the simple fact it's got symbols that got way more words to it than you can actually explain. That's why they come up with these words and had these different definitions trying to explain these symbols. So that's why the word don't mean shit. It's the symbol behind it. Because we can sit here all day long talking about rebuilding, but we gotta understand we got to get people to actually love themselves first to have them symbols of love. And then them other symbols gonna come back up.
Mm.
That's in your chakras, those symbols. So
Right.
and then you will want to protect yourself and protect your community and protect your soul and protect your mind and protect. Then you want to protect it because you know who you are.
Right.
First, soul first. So and if we don't get off that, if we get on that angle of that, then will build ourselves way more healthier. That means my soul to feel good to eat something healthy instead of eating something that's dead.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's way more than loving yourself. It's actually being genuine because some people think that loving themselves is selfish. Loving yourself is actually knowing what all of it is actually yourself and loving all of it,
Right.
not just parts of it. I just love the fact that you just do this, or I love the way you play this basketball. Fuck all that shit. That shit ain't saving us or putting us in a better position to even protect ourselves.
Right.
So that's why I be want to tell these ones that want to be teachers and stuff is you actually teaching because you doing the same thing the preacher doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What is you actually making unity your first priority, or you making that money your first priority, or that flame, that fame that you getting by end up telling somebody else's business when that man didn't tell nobody else what the fuck he did, but you did. You know what I'm saying? Want to pinpoint somebody else's wrong when they actually using the wrong shit anyway. A judgment from some people that don't even give a fuck about you. But then, like, saying like the brother go to court, saying they put his business out everywhere. That don't make no unity. That don't make you say you love your people. Cause when my brother did something wrong, I don't give a fuck what the hell he did. If somebody else was trying to jump on him, we about to whoop that ass.
Right.
Still gonna protect my brother. But see, we don't
Tear
want to
that
do that.
ass up.
You know what I'm saying? We want to shame down of the problems that we already have. We want to point them out. But when you was doing it, you had to figure it out on your own as well. Come on, man. You just people is just too judgmental. And when you too judgmental, you ain't gonna go to the greatest purpose. You're not.
Mm.
The greatest person is greatest purpose is actually uniting and doing something for real and not for fake. Because everybody got some fakeness in them because they didn't live there underneath a government that didn't give a fuck about them, and you trying to fight into a burning house. You know what I'm saying? Come on, for real. You want me to congratulate you? You want me to know? No, I mean, come on. Why should I have to congratulate you when it's something that you're supposed to be doing anyway?
Right.
Right, like I'm gonna give you kudos, but I'm not gonna sit there and what you call it, stick your behind up on a pedestal because this is
Yeah.
something we should have been doing, but we haven't been doing it, so we need to continue doing it. I'll give you props for doing it because positive feedback is important, but I'm not gonna stay stuck on you when there's several other people that need to start doing this with themselves and other people. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Now I'm gonna branch off of what you said because I started talking about something, but you mentioned judgmental, so that brings up another point. When it comes to identifying certain people in our community as people who have either betrayed us or people that turned on us or people that just I guess decided, according to them they didn't want to be black anymore. I'm gonna tell you right here and now, black is based on genetics. It
Right.
is based on a mindset, but if you really want to get down to it, it's based on genetics. You're black regardless of what the hell you do. At the end of the day, you're black. And one of these days, you're going to find out the hard way. Now, I'm going to use a perfect example, right? Serena Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Her father wanted to make sure for both of his girls that they married or went out with black men. He figured it was best that they stayed around black men. Serena Williams. Yes, she has a white guy. She's married to a white guy and she had a child with him. Now, here's my thing when it comes to the judgmental piece. And I'm going to really stick with what May said about the judgmental piece
Right.
because it's mostly the black men that are going after her. The black women, I mean, some of them are upset, some of them aren't upset. I'm a little sad. I'm not going to lie. I'm sad. But the black men are the ones that are going after her because she married a white guy. But yet, when she tried to date black guys and be with black guys, the first thing they said was that she looked like a man. She must be one. She TS, she's a TS, she's a transgender, she's something. She looked too manly and bulky. Last time I checked, you cannot determine a person's genetic build when it comes to their muscle structure, especially if their muscle structure blows up when they work out. Some people's muscles don't blow up a lot when they work out. Hers does. She is she's an athlete. She has an Olympian build. You cannot down her for her Olympian build. And black men went after her for her Olympian build and said, "You look like a man. You too this. You too that. You too this. You too that." Little skinny little white guy grabbed that shit and went off with it and had a kid with it. Now he is the CEO of Tinder. So I'm sorry, it looks contractual to me, and a lot of white guys do this. They really do. I don't care how anybody feels about it. That's what they do. They marry and have kids for contractual reasons. So if anybody were to get a divorce, even if it was him instead of her, he gets half of her shit. Now, regardless of what happens, when that happens, or if that happens, the idea is she tried with black men several times. It never worked because the first thing they did was judge her based on her looks when she probably was a very nice, genuine woman. And I personally think she's beautiful. And I know we have a lot of people in our community who are black women with very athletic Olympian builds. We have black people in tribes in Africa and all over the world, in Brazil. I've seen some in Brazil, and they are of athletic build. Let me tell you something. Some men out there, y'all don't look like a painting either. Some women don't look like a painting, but they're some of the most loveliest people ever. And there are people who are uglier than her who have married within their race. So
Right.
black men and women both need to stop sitting there and judging by the looks. If you don't like her, you don't like her, you leave her alone. Because I think Serena Williams wouldn't mind if a black person didn't want to date. I mean, she would understand that, guys don't find her attractive because of that. However, there's a difference between her build not being your cup of tea and her build not being your cup of tea and you going after her for it. You already don't like how she looks, fine, you leave her alone. Don't sit there, say you don't like how she looks, and just keep digging and digging and digging and digging. She's not gonna, some people say, "Oh, why didn't she marry a black man? Why did she stick with a black man?" There's a lot of good black guys out there. How many bad black guys has she gotta go through to find a good one? And every
Wow.
last one of those black guys may have been very good black men, but the minute they saw her build and the minute they saw her athletics and how sporty she was and how energized she was and how strong she was, they felt afraid and left her alone and decided they were going to insult her to bring her down. And I guarantee you that made her bust out crying. I guarantee you that made her feel bad, that made her feel some type of way. So she decided, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna date a white guy. I can't deal with this anymore. And you know what? She's probably at this point genuinely in love with who she's with because the idea is she finally found somebody who's in love with her. Her dad didn't walk her down that aisle though, because of the idea that it wasn't a black man. But at the end of the day, as much as we want to sit there and call her a bedwench, and I've heard her being called a bedwench several times, mind you, she's been advertising for white companies way before she got married to a white guy. Not one black person called her a bedwench until she married a white guy. Now everything she does makes her a bedwench.
Mm.
Here's my problem, and here's my point. A lot of black women and men go outside of their race. One, because they want to. And most of the people outside of their race are mixed. They have black and something else. So, I mean, we are international people. If I decide I want to marry a Brazilian and not an African, if I marry a black Brazilian, shit, I'm still marrying a black person who lives in Brazil in another region. But my point is, us as black people, again, surviving each other. Serena ain't fitting to do that. She's gonna live her life. And she's not willing to wait her entire life to find a black person who will not do that to her. Black people should not have to endure for the sake of being around black people, sticking with black people who insult them that much and irritate them that much and drive them crazy and disrespect them to that extent. I would not want to be around a black person who disrespects me that much. And me being me, I wouldn't go with a white person out of spite. I wouldn't. But there are people that would, out of spite, simply because they can't believe how disrespected they are by their own people. And then you have black men complaining, why she date a white guy? Why she date a white guy? Why she shouldn't be dating a white guy? She should have dated a black man. Last time I checked, every single one of y'all were the same people that were sitting here calling her a man half the time. Why the fuck would I want to date you when you call me a dude? When you think I'm ugly? When you don't like how I'm built? When you assume that because of how I'm built, I'm not I'm not wife material? I'm not gonna date anybody in my race at that point because everybody so far in my race that I've bumped into has called me that, has disrespected me, has called me out of my name, has degraded me as a black woman who's highly successful. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna say this in public because I know this is on live for everybody to see. I understand why she went after a white man. Because that's a lot of us, as a lot of black men and black women go after white people and deal with white people rather than black people for that one reason. It's sad, but I understand her decision. I wish it was a black. I really wish it was, or even if it was a Latino guy, I'd be okay with it, you know. But a complete white dude. But you gotta understand where it's coming from, and nobody's looking at how she ended up in a situation where she ended up marrying a white guy, because the black people that she was dating did not like her simply because of her build. And that's a problem in our community. You don't have to like every black person. Again, like I said before, you don't like the
Right.
person because of how they look. Okay, you don't like it. Let them know they're not their preference. They might feel bad, but the reality is that it's rather you tell them than fake it and move on. Don't go disrespecting them because of their build. Don't do that shit. It's bad. It's nasty. It's disgusting. And it causes us as people to go outside of our race to look elsewhere for somebody who will love us because our own people don't love us. And that's a part of where the self hate comes from. The self hate comes from other people who look like us that hate us for some stupid reason that has nothing to do with anything affecting them. That's the main reason for the self hate. It's not completely because of slavery. It's not completely because of colonization. It's not completely because of some cracker giving you a headache. It's because of a nigga who looked just like you who got a problem with how you look. And that's why Serena married a cracker. And that's why she's who she's with. And I understand why. I've been dying to say that for ages. Okay, whatever you want to do, go ahead. What you want to do? I'm so mad now. I'm sorry. Black women do it too.
So,
Black women do it too.
yeah,
Black women do it too. But
that's the sad thing, about the self hate.
Serena's
Self-hate
my
is
idol. I look up to her, so I'm so sorry. Like I had to.
like
I
it's
still
like
love her.
it's like when you did something wrong to yourself that was very disrespectful for yourself, and you felt like giving up, and people see that, genuinely see that, how how coming together in the unity, it actually seemed like people actually really gave up, and now you getting this reaction to it, and it's causing this self-hate, and this
Right.
that self-hate towards your brother now, because we should have been together more. So what we doing now is just actually playing out the same thing that actually happened before, that made us break down anyway as a whole unit, that separating the continents,
Right.
separating the people. It was a natural separation that was actually in our conscience, that actually separated the land, and actually separated the people, because we was hating each other. You know, we hating
Right.
each other, and it came way before white people even existed, I believe. Not to believe, but as I know, the time periods of breaking down sectors are actually showing up in different regions.
But you know what, y'all? I'll say this too, with what y'all saying. I've had experience with that myself, and I just want to say this right here. We as black people, we we have a bad sense of judgment. We look at,
Ooh,
I'm gonna tell you why I say that. I'm finna explain
that's
that to you.
true. No, that's true. Please do, but that's true as shit.
Yeah. So
Easy.
if I dress different, right? If I don't dress like a thug, I don't sag my pants, or I ain't out here twisting my fingers, as we say out here in the streets. If I ain't out here
Yeah.
doing that, if I'm in the library reading a book, or I got on a suit and tie, or I might wear a leather jacket this day, or I might listen to rock music, or this and that. Oh, he acting white. She's acting white. How? How do you act white? How do you act black? There's no such thing as acting white or black. A person can't be themselves without labels, and it's pitiful. We're so we're so hard on our people and ourselves, to the point where you make your own want to go outside of their race. You make them want to do that. And
Right.
then when they go outside of their
That's a big
race,
reason.
you quick to say this right here. Oh, she with this white man, or he with this white woman. Why you want to talk to this person for? Why you can't date a sister? Oh, you got problem? No, it's not that I have a problem with a sister or brother. It's the simple fact that I can't be myself without
Around a
you.
sister or brother.
Then it's hurtful, because the simple fact, you looking at it as, me and you share the same flesh. You, like DMX said, you the flesh of my blood. Me and you share the same flesh. And you mean to tell me, because I don't do the same things you do, I'm not a fucking robot. Because I don't do the same things you do, I'm not black. So I'm white now because I
Like I
want to go.
said, black is in genetics. I gotta go there. They saying
I
Cardi B ain't black. The bitch black. The bitch Trinidadian and Dominican. Ain't nothing but black in there, bro. It's just black that speaks Spanish. You're black. Based on genetics, you are black. You are a black man who likes rock music. You're a black man who sits there and wears a leather jacket and read a book. You are black. Being smart is a white thing now. Because let me tell you something. That read a book piece right there, that read a book piece ain't nothing white about reading a book. Because a lot of us as black people don't understand our ancestors made half of the books that white people read. So where the fuck you get the idea that being smart is a white thing?
And you know
I'm
what
about
that
to go
said?
off. Keep talking before I go off, please.
That says, that says this. If you feel like me reading a book, me dressing different, but you know what? If we want to talk about, as far as knowledge, if me reading a book is a white thing, so what you trying to say is that every black person is dumb, uneducated, and ignorant.
You
That's what you
digging
trying to.
yourself in a hole, bro. That's it.
Yeah, that's what you trying to tell me when you saying, okay, so this nigga reading books, or look at this nigga right here, he in the comic book. Okay, so what? This man like reading comic books. What? So what? He like his anime. That's him. Everybody ain't around here toting guns and selling drugs. That's a condition. That is a fucking condition. That's not your natural. That's not something that you want to do. Cause the same people that saying, "Oh, you acting white because you doing this," I guarantee you, when they get to themselves, I guarantee you they read the book. They got they Beethoven. They listening to Beethoven and all this other shit. Oh, but when you get out amongst other people, now it's a white thing. And then you know what's so sad about it, y'all? You got white people now saying, "I'm blacker than you."
You got white people out here injecting themselves with melanin shots and shit, looking blacker than us supposedly.
You know why they saying this? Because they feel like me wearing if I'm gonna put it like this. Me wearing a do-rag, right? Just imagine me being a white person. Okay, me wearing a do-rag is black. Me sagging my pants, wearing baggy clothes, listening to rap music is black. Selling drugs is black. Shooting people is black. But hold on, back up.
That's a
Back up.
problem.
Yeah,
That's a
back
problem.
up. So now you're as black as me? Hold on. So where was you when this happened? Where was you when this police officer shot this young black man? Where was you when this but now you black. But you
Guess
know,
you on black then, bruh. Guess you
it's
can
this
turn your shit on and off.
it's the simple fact that we sit here and down our own people being themselves. Black people are scared. We so scared to be ourselves to the point where it's like now I have to put on this persona. I have to act this way when I get around my people. I have to act ignorant just to fit in. If I don't act ignorant, I can't fit in. I'm not like you. Now I gotta separate myself. What?
Right.
Why? It's a fucked up way of thinking. Like you said earlier, Donnell, we are sick. The fact that we look at each other like that, and the fact that we are so judgmental about what the next black person is doing, that's sickening. That's wicked. Thoughts like that are wicked. You shouldn't sit there and look at another brother and say this about him. You shouldn't sit there and another sister and say that. Because you saying that about them, you saying that about yourself. Whatever you say about her or him, you saying about yourself. It says a lot about you.
Right. And now it's a trend to hate the black people that do stuff that, according to you, isn't black. Like everybody hating Serena Williams, but all of y'all was cheering her on when y'all in y'all PJs watching her go off in tennis. I will always love Serena Williams. Like I said before, whatever you do behind closed doors or whatever you do in your personal life, it's your business. But if I already loved you from day one, I'm gonna keep loving you. I love Serena Williams. That girl was my idol. I loved her. I thought she was one of the most beautiful women in the world. I really did, and I still think that, and I still love her. Now, it's sad, but let me tell you something. There are events that lead up to things like what Serena has done when it comes to
Right,
marrying a white person. There are things that lead up to black people not wanting to be associated or identified as black.
right.
There are things that lead up to black people so-called cooning. There are things that lead up to that. And it's another thing that nobody's going to like me saying. You can't blame white people for everything.
You
Because
can't.
now you are still sitting there giving them too much sunlight when they can't take sunlight in already, as is. They already turned pink in the regular light in the kitchen. You got no business giving them that extra sunlight, even if it is to blame them for what happened. They have a blame. They do have to blame for it because most of us wouldn't be here if they didn't stick the little nasty fingers where they didn't belong.
Right,
Now, after that's over, during the 60s, when the slavery in terms of chains has been abolished, right?
right,
It now at that point from the 60s became our responsibility to pick up where we left off.
Right.
And because there are people in our ancestry who have tried to keep that alive so that by the time the freedom would happen, we wouldn't forget who we are, that worked for a little bit. And from the 60s to
Right.
the 90s, it was working. Come
Uh,
2000, everything fell apart.
Right.
BET got sold to an ugly white dude. Vogue got sold to, no, what do you call it? Ebony got sold to a white company, but it got resold back. A black person just bought it last year. Now, a whole bunch of things that we own that we did for each other fell apart and just fell flat. Just went
Yeah.
flat during the 2000s, the early 2000s.
what,
Yeah.
It's
like my brother was talking about the sickness in the mind, and I was gonna give y'all an example how sick-minded that we actually got. Now, when you actually see a birth of a child, you don't think sexual. Now,
Right.
if a person end up walking outside butt ass naked, everybody gonna have a problem with it because they sexual thoughts. They
Right.
you know what I'm saying? This how nasty that we came, how sick minded we become. We didn't came so sick minded that like, cause like me, for instance, when I was out there just trying to seduce women's, you know, I used to always try to think that I was gonna end up befriending a woman, but in reality, I was end up gonna try to lay with her, cause my mind was nothing but on sexual activities with her. That ain't what gonna heal her anyway, but that's what I wanted. So we so sick minded where we think so wrongfully on things that our minds is like real polluted with false concepts and plans and how to actually get something done. So because we actually mimicking somebody that did harm to us instead of trying to be ourselves. See,
Right.
we didn't really want war and none of that. We wanted to help and be compassionate on everybody and show them a better way. But in that way of trying to show them, they end up getting jealous and start doing things their own way and took over. So, and that's just what that is. I mean, if you actually want to blame somebody or what we actually see is to actually blame the ones who allow that to happen.
Right.
You know. So if that's just like if I taught my child how to sell dope, I'm gonna be mad at her for selling dope.
When you taught it.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So you taught that to them and then they gave it back to you because that's just like anything. Like if you trying to do something to me, I'm gonna give it back to you.
Right.
But
anything you
see,
invest in, you're gonna get back.
right,
Right.
You
I'm
reap
saying,
what you sow.
right. Now, like if I'm coming to you respectfully, I'm coming to you respectfully, but you coming to me all irritated and mad. And you gonna get mad at me for defending myself because I didn't want that madness on me, like telling you to get or I'm gonna do this or that because of simple fact you coming and disrespecting me. So that's how that stuff work, man. I mean, come on, for real. I mean, we all afraid of what we have done to somebody or allow somebody to done to us in a harmful way. So that's just like how you treated someone and in a bad manner, but then when the tables turn, you afraid they gonna treat you the same way. You know what I'm saying? So
And then
mhm.
check this out too, y'all. Here's another example. We quick to say niggas ain't shit or bitches ain't shit. No, here's the problem with that. It's the guys that you like. It's the women that you like. It's not all the men. It's not all the brothers. It's not all the sisters. It's the ones, it's your preference. And then, we get mad and we just be like, well, you know what? I don't even want to date a woman. I don't want to date because this person so you gonna get hurt. One thing you gotta understand, You're supposed to learn from that you're supposed to learn from that experience. You're not supposed to sit there and hold that. You
Hey,
do that. That's out of line. That's that's not even of your nature. The fact that you sit up and then you're classifying every man and woman the same way as the person that hurt you when it's not their fault. It's your fault because it's what you allowed. It's what you was attracted to. It's what you brought. You have to be careful how you sit there and point the finger. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, and I'm gonna use this term, just like the Christian Bible. You know how it say, those without sin cast the first stone. Well, those without judgment, those without judgment. What I'm
Can't
saying,
throw a pebble. Period. You can't even throw a pebble.
those who judge, those who those who haven't judged. Let me get myself together. Those who haven't judged, make the first judgment. Ain't nobody saying that. Then it's like, okay, if you point a finger at this whole set, if you point a finger at this set because of what happened to you, now you need to go back and look at yourself in the mirror. Now you need to point the finger at yourself. The reason why we don't do that is because we're too busy blaming everyone else to the point where we don't acknowledge our own fault. We pass judgment, we pass conviction amongst everyone but ourselves. We pollute our minds with the thought of I'm right. They hurt me, the next person gonna hurt me. Every time you see somebody, he gonna hurt me. She gonna hurt me. I can't trust him. I can't trust him. Can't trust her. Okay, now you promoting self-hate. Now you promoting self-hate. Why? What is the purpose of you promoting this self-hate when you're not really looking at the cause of it? You're the cause of it because of your way of thinking, your mindset, your sick mindset. If you can learn to set back and it because it takes time to heal. As they say, it takes time. You have to sit there and understand why you hurting, what led to this event before you sit there and pass judgment and point the fingers at everyone around you. You have to learn to observe your own actions. What did you do? That's the key component for that. What did you do to cause that hurt? Is it something you did? Before you even point the finger, is it something you did?
Right. And another thing with that, because I'm gonna take that and run with it. For saying niggas ain't shit and women ain't shit, like you said, not all of them are. Now, I'll say this: a lot of the people that are usually hit with the term "niggas ain't shit" or "bitches ain't shit," well, specifically niggas ain't shit, because I hear niggas ain't shit more than bitches ain't shit. I
Right,
haven't said that yet. I had a boyfriend. He's my ex.
right,
I never said he wasn't shit.
right,
And a lot of black people look at me cross-eyed because I didn't say that. But my thing is, he wasn't a bad guy. He
right,
just wasn't good when it came to communication. And my thing is, I was willing to help him with that. But if you don't communicate with me that you are okay with me helping you with that, I don't know what to do. I can't wait there forever.
right,
So we're still best friends. But in terms of the relationship, I'm gonna have to let you go.
right.
But it's not like you're not, I never said he ain't shit. There's always a story behind a nigga who ain't shit.
Yeah,
Now as far as I'm concerned, he's the shit. He just ain't the shit in a relationship. But he ain't the shit.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, a lot of people who end up being given the label that they aren't shit, at one point they were okay. But something happened for them to eventually do whatever it is that caused you to feel as if they ain't shit to nobody, and they just need to go somewhere. They need to go fuck themselves or whatever the case may be. Something happened where they either felt like, let me see how much I can get away with. I'm used to getting away with this much. Let me see if I can get away with this much, which goes back to your point of saying how much you allow, because regardless of how bad that person is, it's how much you allow. Sometimes you can't get out of the situation, like when it gets abusive, gotta be real
right,
careful. It is how much you allow sometimes, but sometimes you don't realize how much you're allowing. There's always that mental training and that mental mess up where you don't realize how much you're actually letting go down until it's too late. There's
Right.
certain times where that's not the case, and it's just the fact that you know what he's doing to you is wrong, but you don't care because you want to say that you're in a relationship, and you'll do anything to let him be in a relationship, even if that means dating somebody who you think ain't shit.
Right.
I, on the other hand, I'm just not the type of woman who does that. I don't like people in general to begin with. So I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I have to sit there and deal with your bullshit all day.
Right.
Peace. I'm back. I had to attend to some.
Hey,
It's
it's
good, bro. We was
cool.
just we was let me catch you up to speed on what we was talking about. So
Yeah,
basically what we was talking about is how black people are so judgmental of each other. And also we was talking about, how sickening it is. And then two, I mentioned white people now feel like because of the stereotype of what black people are supposed to be or what hip hop portrays, they feel like if they can do all these things, that they are black
it's
or
so
that they
easy to
are,
be black
so to speak.
that they
And
feel like they can do it.
right, and then
Bitch, it ain't easy.
what else we was talking about? Like I was just saying, you know, we quick to point the fingers at everybody else when we get hurt, but we don't point the finger at ourselves first. Because the simple fact is, we'll sit there and try to find any logical explanation on how we can blame the next person when it was our fault. Like, I use this for example. We get in relationships with people that we don't know are broken. We don't know these people are broken. And we once we realize that they have something going on, we're quick to give up on them. We're quick to pass judgment on them. We're quick to say they ain't shit. Like I was just telling the queen. Quick to say that. We quick to say that when we don't understand what they've been through. We don't understand what made them the way they are, what broke them. We have to first understand what caused them to be this way before we can sit here and pass judgment upon them. Same for ourselves. We have to be careful what we allow. We can't just sit there and keep allowing the same type of negative energy around us, and now we want to say that everybody ain't shit because people don't hurt us. What you think your feelings are for? You're supposed to learn from them. That is an experience. We as spiritual beings live for an experience.
You got your hand on the mic. I can't hear you like that. You sound muffled.
Hold on. It's
Yeah,
probably because I have now.
yeah, that's cool now.
We as spiritual beings, we live for the experience. So, with that being said, you have to understand what type of experience you are experiencing before you can sit here and be critical of others based off of what done to you. You have to understand what Dave went through as well. And that's where we as black people, as the black community, we have a poor sense of that. We have a very poor sense.
Hey guys, I think we're approaching like the two you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We might have to do a part two.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cultural solutions, a great pro-versation. I like
Right.
this. I like this. Um so what happened to Mace? He had to step off.
I think Mace's phone died.
Oh,
I
okay.
think his phone died. I think he tried to hold on to it as much as possible, but his phone cut off.
All right. So hey man, I'm certain that we definitely, touched a lot of topics and definitely you can find some liberation in this build.
Right.
Um appreciate you guys for coming on the platform, coming to the temple, breaking down the knowledge, reconstructing it, building back up for everyone to understand. Um right where you left off,
Yeah,
we
bro.
definitely gonna remember where we left off at because that's where we're gonna begin
Hmm.
on, the part two.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely got the jewels on. Check the jewels. You see the jewels? I really like this. This tiger eye.
I'm
See
fixing
that?
on my account. I want one of them rings, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want one. I want a couple of them. Shit, fuck one. I want multiple.
I got you. See that?
It's right here.
I'm working on some new designs. I'm working on some new
Fingers.
designs though. So this the Pharaoh, my Pharaoh collection. I'm working on some new designs. I'll keep you posted. And that's a wrap. I'm about to get back to my studies. Got a few other things I need to do. And we gonna get back into at the temple tomorrow. All right? That's what it
All right.
is.
Okay.
All right, peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.